we just put some bombs on a country that's a major player in oil. All these things happen globally, affect our interest rates at home.
As soon as rates drop, all these buyers and all these sellers are going to flood the market, and that's going to push prices back up. You're going to probably need to bleep this out, but one of our core values is that we give it.
Welcome to this episode of the Real Producers Partners podcast. Say that quick. All those P's in there. Mm-hmm. I'm your host, David Owen with Changescape Web. And at Changescape Web, we work with organizations, helping them promote their business and their services, utilizing a variety of marketing techniques. In each podcast, we take and talk to a real producer's partner to learn more about them, to learn more about their business. And today I'm joined by Sherry Cash and Rob Shepard, who are with Rate.com in Columbia, Maryland. So they have been helping home buyers for over 25 years to do refinance, to do mortgages, and we're glad to have them here. So welcome, Sherry and Rob.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So as we get started here, can you share a little bit about the best way to get a hold of you?
Go ahead, Sherry. You can go first.
Cell phone is always the quickest way to reach me. My cell phone number is 443-871-2886. I have that with me all the time and on my wrist, obviously. If someone's writing a contract or is an agent's calling about a contract, it's always best if I don't answer my phone right away to text me because I'll see that before voicemail. But I do guarantee that I return my phone calls, which is one of the things that I hear a lot of complaints about with other people. So We do return our phone calls.
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, same for me. Cell phone, it's 410-320-2817. Call, text, or email. My email is rob@rate.com. But those are the best ways to get me. If I don't answer, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. They all come through on the same device. So try all of them. I am looking for the phone calls and looking for the emails. So they don't sit too long. So if I can't talk, I text.
I'm sorry. You guys are probably like me. You always have your cell phone right here.
Yes.
Sure, right.
You bet. Yeah. You bet. So tell me a little bit about each of you. How'd you get in this?
I'll take the first one on this since I haven't been doing it quite as long. But I started in the mortgage business over 25 years ago, 1998. February 14th of 98 is my what I say is my official start date. That's the day I took a class. It was a 2-day class. That was a start, and I was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So that's the only time I've ever been to Michigan. But anyway, I took that class and. I was well on my way, but I got into it kind of out of college because I thought it would be exciting. I wanted to help people buy houses. I thought that was something that I could make a difference in, and
sure.
and I've stuck with it. And the reason is because it's constantly evolving, it's constantly changing, and no two clients are the same. So. It's challenging, it's exciting. And I still get fired up about solving problems for people, closing transactions for sure. And then building their relationships. That's kind of what keeps it going on. I've told a lot of people over the past, I don't know how long, I don't remember when I started saying it, but no matter who you work for, I think at a real high level, we're all on the same team. Right. Mm-hmm. And we kind of we play different positions. Right. So whoever you work for, whether you're a realtor, a lender, whatever title, we're all on the same team. We're all trying to achieve the same goal. And I'm still trying to achieve that goal for the last 27 years or so. So that's why I got in it. That's why I stay in it. working with people like Sherry. We started working together, I think, in October of '98. So, Sherry, tell them a little bit about how you got to 1998. I don't remember that much about
Well,
that.
I've been in the business about 30 years, just a few years longer than Rob. We both started when we were in diapers, really. And I got in by accident. My husband worked for the credit bureau back then. And when a loan officer pulled a credit report and you needed something updated, you called him, and he was the sales rep. So he was going to a home buyer workshop with a couple of loan officers, and he was going to pull credit for them. So we get to their office, and so then they said they had like 200 people coming. So he asked me to come and help pull credit reports. So we get to their office, and they don't have like a form for people to fill out. They don't have business, they don't have anything. So I sat down at the computer, whipped them up some stuff real quick. We get there, and usually those things, you have 200 people sign up and like 20 show up, and it wasn't like that. Well over 100 people showed up. So it didn't take me very long to get a quick 1, 2, 3 on credit so that I could review the credit with them, and then send the ones that could buy to the loan officers. And then I would go through some things with the other ones. And by the end of the day, I had a job offer.
Wow.
So it was purely by accident.
So are you guys a team?
I say we're a team. I think
we're a team.
We've kind of been a team for I'd say the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
We worked together. We went apart. We came back together. We went apart. Came back together, and now we came back to rate together.
Okay.
So if we're not a team, we certainly travel well together, and we work well together. And we're friends. But that's way more important for me is our friendship and our mutual respect for each other in the mortgage business. I mean, I tell people all the time, like Sherry's the most detailed person that I've worked with in the mortgage business. She probably says the exact opposite of me. But together, just having that support and trust for so long, we work together, right? We're both we have separate fronts, but collectively, we're all trying to achieve the same thing and boost each other up at the same time and boost everybody else up. Like I said, we're on the same team. Like I compete with people, Sherry competes with people all day. And we're all trying to achieve the same thing. And I respect that. And most of the people I have dealings with respect that too. So that's it for me.
Anything you want to add, Sherry?
I agree. We work really well together, and I think our strengths and weaknesses complement each other. I might be more detailed in things, but then Rob has a whole different set. Like he can tell you anything about any program, and sometimes when we need to get creative on how to help someone, it takes both of us to get it there. So I definitely think of us as working, as a team. And it's nice to have somebody that thinks the way that you do to cover when you're, on vacation, or if you do need to go away or something like that. It's nice to have to know who you have covering your business too.
For sure.
So
100%.
What sets you guys apart, makes you different from the other folks in the area?
I'd say the first thing, are you talking about for rate or us individually or both?
Well, put it all together.
Okay. So for rate, I think the biggest thing that sets us apart, and the reason that I was with rate for about 8 years, and then I left for a year, and then I've recently come back, and I can honestly say it's the technology and the philosophy and the speed. Our technology, our clients can fill their application out on their phone, hop on the computer and on our app, and then hop on the computer and finish it, upload documents from our phone. They get pings if we ask for documents, which speeds that process up. And the two systems work. They sync live, real time, and it just makes it really easy. But I think it's important to have that tech on your phone for us and the clients, because that's where we live. We live with our phone. And the philosophy, the thing that really sets Guaranteed Rate apart is In most lender situations, you have the ops team and then you have the sales team. And if something goes wrong, the sales team is going to push it towards the ops, and the ops team is going to say, oh, no, it was it was the sales fault. And honest to God, at Rate, who we used to be Guaranteed Rate, but now we're just Rate, it's all one team. If something pops up that's out of the box and it needs to be fixed, it's like almost a race of who can fix it first. So you definitely do not have that division. We know that we can bring the loans in all day long, but without a phenomenal, quick, efficient, knowledgeable team, they're not going to close. And they know that they don't have loans if they keep bothering us for stuff and don't let us get out there talking to people. So it really is a team effort.
Okay.
Yeah. The way our process flows here allows us to handle problems that maybe our ops team isn't prepared for when they arise. But it allows us to be engaged with the community, with our clients, with our referral partners. And Sherry's not, everybody that works with us here in Maryland, DC, Virginia, we're not chasing conditions, right? So our process is different. Our technology is, I think it's one of the best in the industry. We have a complete start to finish application to closing platform for Spanish speaking clients. I mean, nobody else has it. Not to the extent that we do. Maybe someone else has something similar, but we can bring in interpreters, and we have Spanish speaking ops staff. The platform online is all in Spanish. And it makes people more comfortable that aren't or don't use English as their first language. Right. Or, some people prefer, they can speak English, but, maybe they're more comfortable reading Spanish. That's just, one thing and Sherry and I are local, but, between the two of us, we have almost, 55, 60 years of combined experience. But we have national strength. Our company that backs us is we're proud to work for them, right? We know what we have behind us, and trying to get the word out. That's why we do things like this. More people need to know about it. We're active on social media. That's just part of what we do. We are originators. We help people make great decisions when they're buying houses or refinancing. We take the whole picture into account. But that's just from years of experience. We know how to close loans. Our company knows how to close loans. We know how to close them fast. That allows us to do shorter locks. That allows us to give better pricing, which is better interest rates. And our clients can make more powerful offers with our technology, like Smart Underwrite, that reads W-2s and pay stubs when they come in. And a human underwriter cannot go back on it. Once that is read, underwritten, by our tech, there's no going back. It's set. They don't look at it. We could talk all day about the process, the speed, and our expertise. I mean, we could do a whole podcast on those three things, but I know we have some other things to talk about.
Well, that's okay. It's good to know, because to me, you're a lot different. I've dealt with banks over the years. I've dealt with people, credit unions, all kinds of things, and you don't get that kind of interaction. You end up chasing them. It sounds to me like you're the opposite.
Right. I want to add one more thing about Rob and I. And, as I was just speaking at a realtor meeting, and I asked them, what are your pain points? And their pain points were, one, the loan officers don't answer their phone or return their phone calls. And two, you never hear about the bad news until it's like the day of settlement. And that's one thing about Rob and I is we'll pick the phone up, I mean, we know how to pre-approve, and we can get, and we know how to do our jobs. But we're also confident enough to say, you know what, this deal is not going to work right now. let me work with them for a couple months. Let me give them some things to do. Don't put them in your car. Don't show them houses. Don't spend your time that way. And then if the loan application does come in and something wacky happens, they lose their job or something comes back on a verification of employment that doesn't match what we thought and things go sideways, we are not afraid to pick that phone up early as soon as we know it and say, we need to put the brakes on this. Don't anybody pack, don't load the moving truck.
Right.
And I think that takes you have to have the experience and the confidence to make those phone calls. And I mean, Rob and I hear people every day that don't want to make those phone calls and then things blow up at the end and there's just no reason for it.
Well, that doesn't create goodwill with prospects.
No.
I'm a little bit more stern than Sherry when it comes to, kind of making sure our process flows the way that we need it to. But yeah, we're here when we say we need X, Y, and Z, we need X, Y, and Z. We don't need X and Y and a 30-minute conversation about why we need Z, right? We're trying to get loans closed. We have deadlines to meet. I've said this in the past. I'm a little bit softer these days, but we know what we're doing. We put these systems in place to get people to close. And we've been doing it for 27, 30 years. And we're able to project that or convey that and very quickly in initial meetings. We're not afraid to say, I don't know. We're not, I'll check it out. Things are constantly changing. I get something, I don't know, every Friday it says, here's what changed on our programs this week. Here's upgrades, here's updates. We can do this, we can't do that. Trying to keep up with that constantly. That's a full-time job too. There's so many things that go into, it's not just quoting interest rates, right? I can quote interest rates off the top of my head. If you have 20% down and an 800 credit score, I could teach, we were talking about dogs earlier. I probably teach my dog how to do that with my technology. It might say my dog's name is Shep. Believe that, Shep Shepherd. And it'll say Shep Shepherd's website, right? Somebody clicks and they may never talk to Shep. But our team will jump in and I'll take you to the promised land. That's how good our technology is. Being a little facetious with the dog, but I'm telling you, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So I know you guys are on the East Coast, but are you guys all over the country?
Well, I'll take it. We can lend in all 50 states. I'm licensed in, I think 12 or 13. Sherry's licensed in 4 or 5. But we cover a lot of ground. Our process is the same, no matter what. If we have to refer it to to another loan officer on our team that's licensed in that specific state, maybe we don't hold a license in. My ops team, Sherry's ops team, we still handle all that. We're involved. They can always call us. There's certain restrictions, from a compliance standpoint, but it's our rates, it's our process. And it's us, leading the way. We just have somebody on our team that might, be handling some things that we can't from a compliance standpoint. But we lend everywhere, up and down the East Coast, all the way to. I just closed one in Missouri a week ago. So
I closed one in Hawaii.
Yeah, Hawaii.
I think I'll go to her housewarming.
Yeah, right. Housewarming. Pick up the housewarming gift there. You don't want to fly with
Right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Deliver it first.
Perishable.
So what do you guys think is going to happen with rates over the next 12 months?
I'll take it.
I was going to say, Rob, you can take that.
Well, I mean, that's kind of it's a fun question to ask today, right? I mean, we had a lot of things happen over the weekend. That all the I'll call them talking heads, which is basically what I'm sitting here doing. But I think that they keep talking about affordability. I keep reading about affordability, and I see inventories going up, and I see buyers not stepping in. So the buyers have said, we can't really afford it. The prices keep going up. The interest rates are up. We're going to sit on the sideline for a second. And eventually somebody has to move, right? And, from, not political. None of this is political. This is economics and finance. The president is like, we have to get the rates down. Jerome Powell saying, no, we're going to hold them here. A week ago, they had a Fed meeting and they left the rates the way that they are, right? The Fed funds rate, not our interest rates, but it works hand in hand at some point. And so we talked about affordability. We talked about holding the rates where they were last week. But our inflation numbers, from what they're saying this week, the tariffs aren't as bad. That's not creating the type of inflation that they thought it would. And from what I'm hearing, right, I haven't read it yet, but the countries are absorbing a lot of the costs. I just saw that, like, I'm going to say Audi. All right, Audi's going to build a plant in South Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the tariffs that were implemented. Yeah. It's okay. We'll just build a plant in South Carolina. We'll skip the tariffs. I forget what the number was. 500 million they lost or something, because it's some huge number, right? I said 500,000. That's I don't think that's quite enough. It's not a billion, it's not a trillion, but it was in the millions. And so after all that, where are rates going to go? I think they're going to trend down. How much is going to be dependent on all of these things that are happening. What I just see oil prices. We just put some bombs on a country that's a major player in oil, and oil is down $1.50. So that's something's off here, right? So all this global, all these things happening globally affect our interest rates at home. Unfortunately, some of those conflicts create lower interest rates. That's just the way it is. I've seen it happen before. It's economics. Right. I mean, we can get more into economics, but I think the rates are going to trend downward, not to levels that people want. But if we can get in the, let's say we get in the mid fives, we get in the mid fives. It's the mortgage market is going to pick up. We get to 5.75. 6 on 30-year fix. I think you can. There'll be some more movement there. Every little bit helps, right?
Sure.
Anyway, I talked about that way too long. So it's not a simple answer though.
That's good.
But I didn't give you the. Oh, if I knew that, I wouldn't be on this podcast with you. I'd be hosting the podcast, right? Yeah. That's an easy answer. Anybody can say that.
Well, right. I think when we're talking about interest rates, it's also important to look at that historically also, because, when rates are a little bit higher, the sales prices are moderate. As soon as rates drop, if they drop to that mid 5 range, all these buyers and all these sellers who have been sitting on the fence waiting for rates to drop are going to flood the market, and that's going to push prices back up. So it all balances out. People are going to move regardless of the rates if they want to live closer to those grandchildren, if they have a job that they have to relocate for. There's been a lot of people that have been penned up in their homes that are too small waiting for the rates to drop because they've got that beautiful 3% interest rate that haven't moved yet. But, there's a sweet spot to that too. If you can move, when rates are decent like now and there is an inventory, then you might be able to buy a little bit lower. And then when rates drop, you can refinance. Whereas if you sit and wait until the rates drop and everybody floods the market, you're going to end up paying more for the house, even though the rates dropped, and you're going to end up with the same payment. So you can change the interest rate, but you can't change what you bought the house for, Right. So
I saw a thing the other day. It said time in the market, not timing the market.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to make money if you buy a house. I don't care what the interest rate is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's real estate. It's real.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. So do you guys do just conventional loans, or do you do balloons, or tell me a little bit about what you do?
We do everything. We do all the standard stuff. Jumbo, conventional, FHA, VA, USDA. We do the bond programs. We do the down payment assistance programs. We have a very nice suite of programs for people who are self-employed or don't qualify off of tax returns, W-2s, investors, home equity lines of credit. I mean, did I miss anything, Rob? Like, we do everything.
Renovation.
Oh, how could I
Construction
forget that?
Hey, that's a great, I'd love to hear about that.
I mean,
What do you guys do around renovation?
The two of us, Sherry's one of the best ever. I competed with her on it. I've learned a ton from her on it. But she is known, I think, in our industry, in our area, as a 203K, FHA 203K and reno specialist. I mean, she crushes it on reno. I call her when I have reno questions, right? Just because she's been doing them so long. But you know, a lot of people don't they don't take advantage of it. And it's the renovation loans that I've done in my career have created more wealth more quickly than any other program I've ever done. I'm telling you right now, because you take a $200,000 house and you put 50 in it and it's 400, you know, or maybe it's 100 and it's worth 400. You just made 50. But it happens quickly, and it happens without you necessarily being displaced from your current home, right? Because you can finance payments. You know, it's not a permanent solution. You know, so when we quote the rate and it's a percent higher or so than what you might get on a traditional, you know, FHA or VA or USDA, you know, you just have to understand what's involved with you know, with getting the renovation completed, right?
Sure.
But yeah, that's the reno is I saw a sign the other day. Look, there's all these real estate signs, and there's houses for sale. And there was one company that had like 3 signs all around that said, "Don't move, improve." And it was for a builder or, you know, reno company.
Sure.
Right.
I can see the sign. I can almost remember the name. I don't want to say it. You know, I don't want to mess it up, but yeah, I was like, "Don't move, improve." And I'm like, wait a minute, that is renovation loans. You know, you can refinance and do a renovation also. You don't just have to purchase and renovate. But anyway, remember what I told you about talking too much? I should just let Sherry go. I'll add in. But yeah, reno.
So for anybody that doesn't know, a renovation loan allows you to either purchase a property and include the cost to update it or renovate it, or allows you to refinance your existing property and roll the cost in to renovate your property. And you can do anything from paint and carpet all the way up to tearing the roof off of a house and adding a second story. I've been doing them since 2012, teaching real estate classes and everything. But so I've been considered a specialist in renovation loans for quite a few years, but I don't think I really earned that title until my husband and I bought the house we're living in now with a renovation loan. That gives you a whole different perspective on them. But I think that they're great. I think they're underused. I think people get tied up on the interest rate being 1% higher. But then I've had more than a handful of clients that have said, no, we're just going to pay for the renovations ourselves. And then they're calling me back a year or two later and they've got $90,000 in credit card debt. It's just a no-brainer. And I can personally tell you there is nothing like moving into a house that is 100% exactly the way you want it and you've never picked up a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Right.
There's just nothing like that.
Yeah.
So if there's agents that don't know about them, they need to connect with one of us because, you know, there's some houses sitting on the market that buyers could get really good deals on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And with AI, you can take the pictures from the house and you can put those pictures in AI and go make my kitchen, you know, I don't know, what is it? Farmhouse fresh or whatever. I don't know what they call it.
Right.
That's right.
You know,
farmhouse chic, I think is what.
Yeah, farmhouse chic, or you know, whatever they're doing to it. But there's a lot of. I mean, I can do it too. But if people really, if you want to get into a specific neighborhood, you buy into the neighborhood, right? You don't buy into the house.
Right.
But you can with a renovation loan. You go, okay, well, that's the worst house in here, but this is my neighborhood. I'm going to make my house comparable to the rest of the neighborhood, and I'm going to finance it, and I'm going finance 6 months of payments, and I'm going to move in and I'm going to sell my house and we're going to go on our way.
Well, and that's the funny thing. People automatically turn away when they see that the interest rates might be 1% higher. But depending on how much they're rolling in for the renovations, they may include those payments in their new mortgage and not even make a payment for 6 months. The work is completed, and before they actually have to write a check out of their own checkbook or transfer funds for their mortgage payment, we can be refinancing them to a lower rate. Yep. So they're a great tool, totally underutilized and totally misunderstood, I think.
Yeah.
We know a little bit about Reno.
Yep.
Well,
it
sounds like you know a lot about it.
We've done a bunch.
Well,
but yeah, that's she named the traditional, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, USDA, be it, those are hard also, right? There are niches there also. But this one's just it's an extra step. It's like bridge loans, buy before you sell programs and that kind of stuff. Once you know how they work, having years of experience, when people mention what they want to do, right in my head, I go, boom, boom, boom. These are 3 things, and then we'll narrow it down. Just keep asking questions and guide people to, what they're asking for. Here's what's available for your specific situation. And we can cover it all, buying or refinancing. We even offer personal loans. If you want to consolidate some debt to help you qualify for, more, we have personal loans, we have HELOCs, we have, you name it. And this is all in-house. We're not brokering this stuff out. We do this with our teams on our same platform, efficiently, effectively, all day, and don't miss a beat.
Yeah, I think that's important because a lot of times people say they do it. They don't really do it. And so you end up with a black hole if you want to find out some information or have some customer service. It's a big deal.
Right.
100%.
So is there a success story either of you want to talk about?
Oh, I have a cool one.
Okay.
So
is it your Hawaii story?
No, it's not Hawaii, but it's Japan.
Right.
It's Japan. I like to get around.
Going.
Right. So I have an active duty military member who has been stationed in Japan. He's PCSing to Maryland. So it's a little bit of a time difference, right, with him being on the other side of the country.
Sure.
And it's a great story about how our team, both of us and our team, meet the clients where they're at. So you've got a 12-hour time difference, and his easiest way of communicating is through Facebook Messenger and making phone calls through Facebook. He did really long, like 12-hour shifts. So not only did we have the 12-hour time difference, but, sometimes like his nights and my mornings when he was off work didn't all correspond, but with our technology, he was able to do a lot of it from his phone or his tablet. He got pinged when we needed a document. So when he had a second, he could take a look at that, upload it from his phone. We gave him a couple different options for settlement. He could either sign virtually, or he could give somebody power of attorney. He chose to give his mom power of attorney. He was connected with a great real estate agent that always goes above and beyond for her client. So she was able to, have him involved while working with his mom to view the house and do the inspection so that he could make an educated decision. And we closed that loan in 30 days, with him being in Japan and with the 12-hour time difference, and it was easy breezy. And that's what we try to do, is just meet the client's needs. That's, one of our core values. One of our core values is that we give you're going to probably need to bleep this out, but one of our core values is that we give a shit. And everyone at Guaranteed Rate does.
Well, that's good.
I was looking up here. I have the core values up on the wall, and that's the last one.
It's also the only curse word that our internal email will allow to go through to somebody else's email.
That's a good thing. I don't get any. That's a good thing, maybe on some days.
Right, exactly.
So how about you, Rob?
Mine's not quite as exciting, but we had a client in Virginia that was looking for a house, not getting approved or not getting contracts accepted. And I kept telling them about, our power bid pre-approval, which, gets them completely approved before they even find a house so that they can compete with cash offers.
Wow.
So I finally said, look, if you just, verify your income and assets, I can get this thing fully approved, short of clear title, appraisal, ratified contract, and insurance. And sometimes it takes people getting their plan's not working, and then maybe they decide, okay, well, here's another plan that maybe an expert has, right? But once they kind of bought in, and we did that, the buyer's agent was allowed to write stronger offers, right? Because we're competing with cash. Within a week, they had a contract after they uploaded W-2s and pay stubs and bank statements.
Right.
Smart AI reads it. And I can give them a full approval, as opposed to, an AUS approval. I was just talking about this today. I've been getting AUS approvals since 2000, right? For 25 years, I've been getting AUS approvals. I can get an AUS approval on just about anybody if they have enough money and enough down, right? But because I put the numbers in, they're not looking at W-2s, they're not looking at pay stubs when I punch the numbers in. A human underwriter looks at that and verifies it. Our technology now verifies it before it gets to a human. It's set in stone. And that's what I was talking about earlier about our technology. And that allows me, I said this about automated underwriting. It allows me to focus on what programs we have, how we can help the most people, how we can support our partners. And I'm not worried about whether when my client goes into underwriting, like what kind of stuff's going to come up that I don't know about.
Yeah.
But that's also you lead with that too. Listen, if you don't tell me something, I am going to find out. We're going to find out. So be open, honest. Tell us where the icebergs are. Let us drive the ship. That's another one that if you tell me where the icebergs are, we will not hit them. If you give me enough time, right?
Right.
And, if we're going fast, give me more time. I'm going to find out. My underwriter's going to find out. My team's going to find out. We've been, if you take Share Your Eye and then add in our processing staff, closers, underwriters, et cetera, we have 1,000 years of experience, right?
Yeah.
If you get it by, and with all the technology, you can't trick us, right? If you just tell us what it is that you're trying to accomplish and what situations you have back here, when we bring all that to the forefront, we can put solutions in front of people that work 99 times out of 100. The only piece that might muck us up is they didn't tell us about one of the pieces, or they tell us about a piece, but it's not the full details. We get into it, it's a little bit more, and they forget about their Klarna or payment or Afterpay or I don't remember that. Oh well, it throws your race anyway. But if we knowing income and assets specifically and having them verified upfront can change the dynamic of a transaction 360 degrees, 180 degrees, 180.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it for me.
Well, it's always good to know the road you're traveling, and if you don't know it, you'll miss the destination all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've talked for about 45 minutes. Is there anything else either of you would like to add? I
can add a little bit. we've been doing this for a long time. And, there's still surprises that happen in our industry. Having the ability to navigate from start to finish and knowing how to get things accomplished, and having a team that supports you, having a coworker that supports you, it just makes it so much easier for us. It makes, our jobs really tough. The realtor's job, really tough. Title company, really tough. Everybody's job's really tough. But, from our standpoint, we want the client to feel like it's really easy. Okay. We'll take on the tough burden. We want to take on the tough burden for our real estate partners, CPAs, accountants, whoever's referring business to us. We want to take the burden of what this process is and make them not think about it. That's our number one goal. That's the client. They want to apply. They want to get updates, and they want to close. If there's a problem, they want professionals that can solve their problem before they call, right? Sherry was talking about we call quick. We have solutions. And that's important. We have the knowledge and the backup to close loans, and a lot of them. And that goes for, if anybody's looking for a company to join, I'll put a little shameless plug in there too, because I've worked at a couple different companies. I was at Rate for 6 years. I left. I came back 2.5 years later, and I wish I'd never left. But I'm sure a lot of people can say that about their company, their process. But I don't know if you can hear my voice. I'm committed. I go out on the street. I know that when I tell somebody I can do something, I can do it.
So you guys are growing.
No.
We're the second largest lender in the country right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
I
only
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, we're the second largest lender in the country. Guaranteed Rate is, and then we have some other, smaller companies under us and affiliates and things like that. But one thing I'd like to add is that both my business and Rob's business has always been realtor based, which is why we help sponsor, why we're a sponsor of the Chesapeake Real Producers. Right. And Guaranteed Rate is built to support realtors. That's our whole philosophy, is to support the realtors in their business. So we can provide marketing materials for open houses. We can provide mailing lists for other houses that are around the open houses and a realtor's listings, that are primed to move, lots of equity. They've lived there for a long time, and we can actually pull that data for them. We have budgets in place to sponsor broker opens for your listings, and so other things like that. So if you haven't worked with either one of us, or if you haven't worked with Rate, we ask that you give us a shot and tell us what your needs are, and tell us what you would like done differently than some of your other relationships, and we'll see if we can fill those holes. But one thing I can guarantee is that we're going to answer our phone and or return your phone call. And we've joked about this, and I'm going to go ahead and put it all public. If we don't answer our phone or return your phone call within like a minimum amount of time, we're going to buy you lunch. Aren't we, Rob?
Yeah, lunch, coffee. Most people don't have time for lunch anymore.
Well, whatever they want, right?
I'll buy them a free Zoom call.
Yeah, there you go.
I found that busy professionals don't have time to sit down and eat lunch with you. They have things going on the same way that we do. Yeah. So, I had some feedback from somebody that said, why don't you do it like Rob and just have a call? We'll just have a call. Like, it'll take 5 minutes. And I remember that call with that agent. And I asked him, what can I do to knock your socks off? He said, close my deals on time. That's what he said.
Yeah, there you go.
He might have used a word we can't use in our emails here at Rate, but he told me what he needed, and I said, no problem. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway.
Thank you, David, for your time. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate yours as well. I've learned a lot, and I didn't even, this is terrible, but I didn't even know who you guys were.
Oh.
That's fine. That's why. Hey, why would you? Yep. You're not on Instagram, are you?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not. My wife is, but I'm not.
Yeah, Rob Shepherd Mortgage, Sherry Cash Mortgage. We're right there. We're on there all the time. Facebook. We're trying to get the message out. I'll leave you with this. It's a little brag on me. Somebody told me that my content makes the mortgage process seem easy, and that I am very trustworthy. That's what someone told me at a party on Saturday. And I said, well, I don't really see her. I said, why don't you share that with some people?
Yeah, you didn't answer.
Look, this guy's fantastic, right? But no, I just thought that that's kind of where we are. Sherry and I don't work together because we have different mindsets on how people are supposed to be treated. Like my title is branch manager. That doesn't mean anything. I originate loans. If somebody wants to come and originate more, I can help them do that. Right. Maybe Sherry will attest to that here, but that's not, that's always fun, but I didn't get into the business for that. I got into the business for the reason I stated before, and we're still doing the same things. We just can do them better now because we're older, wiser, and we got the platform, and we have the products, and we have the backing to put our foot down and be like, this is how it goes. We can get it accomplished. You don't have to call anybody else. That we have it all, and we know how to do it. Anyway,
good.
Thank you.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for your time, and it's great to talk to you. And I've learned a lot.
Thank you. You have it. Hey, try to stay cool out there. Okay.
I'm trying.
I'm waiting to see how much I learn after this is edited and comes out.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Thanks a lot, David. Sherry, go crush it. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
You too.
Thank
Bye.
you.